The following program is produced and sponsored by you, the TBN partners, and is only made possible through your generous support.
Thank you for tuning in to Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Monique Dennis, and this is where we talk about different issues that affect the South Florida region. Today with us, I have Larry Gierer, who is the chairman of the United Way of Broward County Task Force on Underage, and that was a mouthful, South Florida. I'm going to get this to you, on underage drinking, and he was the former mayor of the city of Oakland Park. I'd like to welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak with you today.
Now, Larry, we understand that there are many different issues with our youth and drug abuse, as well as alcohol abuse due to the media. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
And why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because of the advertising that is out there, that, you know, the subliminal messaging that has been targeting our children for far too many years. I'd say at least 30 years. And
it looks good when we're watching it on television. Everyone wants to be cool. Everyone wants to be a part of the in crowd. And so when these things are associated with being in, children are magnets to it.
Well, yes, children want to be accepted, especially with their peers. And we feel the message needs to be brought out there that the family needs to get involved and parents need to get involved and start talking to our children, talking to their children. Otherwise, they're going to be getting erroneous information, wrong information from their peers, their youth, their friends.
Okay. Larry, what is the United Way of Broward County Commission on Substance Abuse?
Yes, we are a dynamic community coalition that we're dedicated to reducing substance abuse and use throughout Broward County.
I like that, the reduction of substance abuse. That is amazing in itself, because are we seeing escalated numbers of our children getting involved in alcoholism and
yes, students in middle school and high school self-report that they have consumed alcohol within the past 30 days. And furthermore, they see that there is nothing wrong with consuming alcohol. And then 1/3 of the students that were surveyed said that they've experimented with alcohol and drugs.
Oh, wow. Now, how does the commission effectively tackle reducing the amount of youths that are abusing these substances?
We do our homework, okay. First, we gather all the material and the data, and we study the data. Then we convene community members throughout the county, and we bring in the national experts and the state experts, and together we review the information and decide which is the best track. Okay. Which is the best plan, which is the best way to approach the initiative that we need to be addressing.
Who are some of the partners of this organization?
Oh, we have a great group of people and a long list of people. We have Memorial Hospital, we have the Spira of South Florida, we have the Department of Children and Families, we have the Department of Health, we have community leaders such as judges that serve on the drug court, we have mayors, commissioners, school board members, a lot of community volunteers that are out there. We're tasked with this issue of addressing substance abuse throughout Broward County.
And you know, as a parent, I hear the need for this. You know, at any point my children would get involved with, you know, drug abuse or alcohol abuse before, well, never, but I would be interested in that.
Well, I also like to add, too, that we have many members of the community that are moms, dads, and children. We do work with the youth, and they really do help getting the message out.
Okay. Now, what about the parents that actually sit down with their children and drink with the children in the household?
Well, unless a child is of legal age, I don't advise that, and we don't condone that. Studies have indicated, and these are most recent studies in the past few years, that the human brain is not fully developed until the age of 25.
The age of 25?
The age of 25.
So every time but the children that are indulging in these substances are losing brain cells.
It is affecting their brain. When you think that children as young as 10 to 12 years of age are consuming alcohol, they are possibly doing permanent damage, and they definitely are delaying the process of the development of the brain.
Okay. Larry, does Broward County, just Broward County, we won't deal with Dade and the other counties, but do we have a major issue with underage drinking?
I don't want to say it's a major issue, because the reality of it is more students don't use than the ones that do use.
Oh, I would love for you to tell South Florida that one more time.
The problem is people have the perception that all students are using, but there's more students in high school and in middle school that do not choose to use.
That's commendable.
But the important thing is children have a need to fit in, and why they use is because of the loneliness, unacceptance, the bullying, everything that children are faced with these days.
Okay.
Okay, it adds a lot of pressure to them. Okay, and then with the influence of the media and thinking the thought process thinks this is the cool thing to do, and this is what we need to do to be adults. You know, we need to get the message out to the kids. Be a kid as long as you can be a kid, because you grow up so quick that once you're an adult, you can never go back to and recapture those years as a youth.
That is so true, Larry. Now, for the parents that are inside the house, of course, whether it's the mother, the father, or both parents, what can they do to emphasize and
they need to start talking to their kids now.
Okay.
You have to, this has to be a topic of conversation. Sit down at dinner, have these conversations with your kids. And the reason why you need to sit down and start talking to them, because if you don't, they're going to be listening to their peers, and they're going to be filled with a lot of erroneous information, misconception. And this goes beyond alcohol consumption, because we have kids that are huffing these days. Huffing is when they take products that are meant to be cleaning products and inhaling them just to get a high.
Yes.
It is really a sad state. I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime, but it is a fact of what kids are experimenting with these days.
Okay, and you'll find that children and the parent relationship, at times, children feel that parents are lecturing, even in basic conversation. I don't know if you have children, Larry, but even in the basic conversations, they feel that if you give them any golden nuggets or some pointers to be better, it sounds like a lecture. So how, as parents, could we emphasize the importance of leaving these substances alone, but at the same time sounding not necessarily like a peer, but a friend?
Well, one of my favorite websites is www.timetotalk.org. Okay, so that'll help guide you. But whether it sounds like it's lecturing or not,
say it.
You're still, kids still listen to what mom and dad has to say.
Okay.
And when they're tempted out there with, you know, a glass of wine, a bottle of beer, whatever it might be, you know, the little voice will hopefully kick in.
Yes. Yes, it does. I know mine did. My mother's voice did. You know, it just seemed like a little balloon on the cartoons that just would come up every once in a while.
Well, it's sort of like the good angel, bad angel theory. You know, you have to have a balance. And hopefully they're going to be listening to the good angel.
Exactly. Well, who was that? We talked about who was at the table of the task force, but please tell me where you feel you have been successful with the reduction of underage drinking through the task force.
This is where we can tie, we have two initiatives we're working on now. One is the Safe Festivals training, and then we're going in and educating different cities in the county on how they can make their venues safer. Instead of having the alcohol consumption